Rain tapped my hat and shoulders. I stood still. The sheriff raised his hand for silence. "Keep the line straight," he said. I watched the workers shuffle forward. Some stared at mud. Some stared past us into shadow. Hunger lived in their faces. Jonah nudged me. "You good, Elias?" "I am fine," I said. "Do not bid," he said. "You still owe land tax." "I know," I said. "I will not bid," he snorted. "Croft owns your debt and your sleep." I kept my hands down. My boots sank in wet dirt. I told myself to leave, go home, forget this. But my feet would not move. Fire. A name. A voice. The auctioneer climbed a crate. "Listen up," he cried. Debt calls for courage. Work eats debt. Bids start small. People cheered. My stomach turned. The river roared behind the mill. They sold a man. Then a girl with red hands. Then a boy. I kept quiet. Coins rose and fell like birds. "Next," the auctioneer said. "Special case." 2 men dragged a thin figure forward. A burlap sack covered the head. Rope tied at the neck. The figure trembled. "Rules," the auctioneer said. "No questions. No faces, name on paper. Term by contract. Start at $1, a voice called. 1, 2, another said. 2 1/4. A third tried. The figure swayed. I took 1 step forward. I did not plan it. Jonah hissed, "Elias, stop." "I am only looking," I said. 3, the auctioneer called. "Do I hear 3? Mud hit the figure and slid down the sack. I heard my voice before I chose it. $2. The square went quiet. Laughter burst after. 2, the auctioneer said. "You mean 3? "2, I said. "That is all my money." "Mercy," someone jeered. "You cannot buy a shadow." Jonah grabbed my sleeve. "What are you doing?" "I do not know," I said. "I need to help." "Sold it too," the auctioneer cried. "Cheap love, friend." I walked to the crate. I put coins in his wet palm. The sheriff nodded. "Take your purchase." I reached for the rope. The figure flinched. I paused. "It is okay," I said. "I will not hurt you." No answer. Only a small sound. "What is your name?" I asked softly. "May I take you home?" "There is food." "There is fire." There is silence. The head tilted. Breath rasped under the sack. "Speak up," the auctioneer said. "Name for the ledger," the figure whispered. The voice was rough but clear. One word slid under my ribs. Elara. My world tilted. Smoke rolled in my head. Our cabin fell again. Jonah steadied me. "Elias?" "I heard wrong," I said. "Say it again." The whisper came again. "Elara," people shrugged. To them it was only a name. To me it was a letter from the grave. "Come," I said. "We need to leave." The sheriff eyed me. "You sure you want that trouble?" "Croft asked about this one. I am sure," I said. "I will take her home." We moved through mud and rain. I kept my hand near her arm but did not touch. Jonah followed, cursing. "You lost your mind." "Maybe," I said. "Croft will want money," he said. "He keeps secret lists." "I will pay," I said. "I will work." Courage, not fear. At the bridge the river roared. The boards were slick. She halted. "It is safe," I said. "Hold the rail." She moved like a shadow in fog. At the far side she stumbled. I caught her elbow light as a promise. "Thank you," she whispered. "Do you know me?" I asked. Silence. Only river and rain. "You said your name," I said. "Why that name?" "It is my name," she said. I remembered your voice. Ice slid through me. "From where?" "From fire," she said. We reached my gate. My small home looked tired. Smoke rose like a thin prayer. I opened the door and let her in. "Sit," I said. "Warm yourself," she obeyed. I hung my coat. My hands shook. I set bread and stew on the table. "Eat," I said. "Please." She lifted the bowl under the sack. I heard small sounds and slow sighs. "I need to ask more," I said. "But I will not push. Tonight we rest. Tomorrow we talk," she nodded. "I understand." I sat across from her. Her shadow trembled on the wall. "I am Elias Ward," I said. "This is my home." "You are safe here." "Safe," she echoed. Then she shivered. For now, night closed around the house. Warmth held us like a shell. My heart beat loud in the silence. I looked at the sack and whispered to myself. "Elara." The name felt like truth and knife. I did not know if this was rescue or ruin. I only knew I had opened a door, and my past waited inside. "I brought you home." "This is safe," I said. "Home near the river. Quiet trees. Warm fire tonight. You can rest," I said. "I will cook." She stood in silence. The sack stayed on. I set soup down. Steam rose in small curls. Please eat, I said. You look weak and cold. She did not move. The sack faced me. Fear brushed my neck like a cold hand. What is your name? I asked, careful. Silence pressed the room the way night did. They said Elara, I said. Is that true? Her hands trembled. The sack dipped once. I will not hurt you, I said. Promise. My own voice shook like thin glass. There is a bed, I said, and a fire. You can take the sack off here. She breathed slow. I waited and kept quiet. The clock ticked. Wind touched the walls. I heard the river and smelled wet pine. I am Elias Ward, I said. A lumberjack. People call me quiet. People call me kind. I pay my debts. I keep my word. I had a wife, I said. She died. Fire took her. I failed to save. Heat rose in my face. Memory cut sharp. I told the truth, I said. Your turn. She finally spoke. Her voice was rough. I remember your voice, she whispered. My knees went weak like rotten wood. From where? I asked. From what place? She went still. The sack hit her face. Eat first, I said, please. You need strength. I handed bread. She took it very slow. She ate small bites and watched my hands. Thank you, she said, hardly any sound. I nodded. The room felt heavy and strange. You said my voice, I tried again. Where did you hear me? Tell me now. She shook her head. Not tonight, she said. Tomorrow, maybe. Not tonight. I fear night. I swallowed fear. I chose mercy again. All right, I said. You can rest here. You have my home. You have my promise. I gave her water and a wool blanket. I lowered the lantern. Shadows climbed walls. I sat near the door, close to fire. If you need help, call my name. Elias, she said, trying the sound. It cut like a knife. It warmed like love. I looked at the sack and hated it. It hurts? I asked. The cloth on skin? She held the edges. I need it, she said. Why do you need it? I asked. Because of people. Because of money. Because of shame. Because of debt. Bile rose in me. Croft loved debt and shame. No one here will shame you, I said. You are safe in this house. This home. She turned toward the light of the fire. Safe costs money, she said. Do you pay? I will pay, I said. I will work. I will cut trees and haul logs. I will keep you safe, I said. She whispered, I do not trust safety. I know, I said. I failed it once. Silence returned. Only the river spoke. Wind tapped the boards and moved on. I gave her my bed. I took the chair. Good night, I said. Sleep without fear. Good night, she answered. Thank you, Elias. I watched the coals fall into soft red. The room breathed. Moths kissed the glass. I closed my eyes. The dream rose fast. Help me, she screamed. Fire climbed the walls. Smoke hit my throat. I ran, too slow. I heard the river, far and useless. Elara! I shouted into the smoke. The roof groaned like a dying animal. My boots slipped. My hands burned hot. I saw a shadow, a woman by the door. She reached for me and pulled me back. Forgive me, I cried. Please forgive me. The dream cracked. I woke with a gasp. Night pressed the window. Rain drew lines. My heart hit hard like a hammer. She sat by the door, small and still. She hummed a song, a quiet lullaby. My wife sang that song some nights. I knew each note like my breath. Where did you learn that? I asked. My voice shook. My hands shook too. From a woman, she said. She was kind. She sang near a fire and held a boy. Ice ran through my blood. What boy? A sick child, she said. He coughed all night. I stared. We had no child, I said. She went quiet. The humming filled space. Maybe I confused. Maybe another house. I stood and walked to her, slow. Tell me the truth, I said. Please. Why my voice? Why my song? She touched the door frame with careful fingers. I carried a letter once, she said. It had your name and smelled of smoke. When? I asked. Tell me the time. A winter night, she said. Hard wind. My memory breaks, she said. I fear it. Did you see my wife? I asked. My throat hurt. My chest pulled tight. She turned away. The sack hid everything. I saw a woman near a fire, she said. I heard your voice shout her name. I heard a promise. I heard your promise. What promise? I asked. Say the words. I heard, I will not fail again. Sweat cooled on my skin in the night. That was after she died, I said. Maybe I spoke to smoke and ash? Maybe I answered you then, she said. Maybe I stood in shadows and watched. Maybe I saw you try to save love. The room felt small, like a tight box. Fear crawled up my back like ants. Are you her? I asked. Are you Elara? She was still. The sack did not move. I carry her name, she said at last. Names can be heavy like iron, she added. I wanted truth and I feared truth. Were you sent to break me? I asked. Or to help me pay my debt? She did not answer. She hummed again. The song wrapped the room in soft threads. Old guilt woke like a slow storm. New hope flickered like weak fire. Say who you are, I whispered. Say why you wore the sack, she said. Tomorrow by the river I speak. Not at night. Not in this silence. I nodded and stepped back from the door. I could not breathe right. I needed air. Wind slid through a crack in the pane. Pine and rain filled my lungs with cold. Tomorrow, I said. The river hears truth. She whispered. The river remembers every name. I stared at the sack and saw my past. Fire snapped inside the iron stove. Ash rose. Old sorrow touched my tongue. Sleep would not come for me again. Rest, I said. I will keep watch. She turned the chair and faced the door. The lullaby thinned to a silver line. Night stretched long. My promise stood iron. I waited for dawn and feared what came. Dawn will come, she said. Hold your courage, Elias. Courage breaks, I said. Fear holds like iron chains. Then breathe, she said. Name what you fear. I fear truth, I said. I fear the name. Names cut, she said. But names also heal. Will you heal me? I asked, voice thin. Tomorrow answers, she said. Tonight silence. The morning smelled of wet pine and smoke. I was cutting logs when I heard hooves. Mason Croft's black horse stopped at my gate. His boots hit the mud with a heavy sound. Ward, he shouted. You're late again. I wiped my hands and stepped out. I'll pay soon, I said. Soon won't feed my men, he said. His eyes moved past me toward the cabin. Who's the girl? Elara stood by the door, quiet as a ghost. Her sack covered her head again. I saw his grin spread slow and mean. She looks familiar, he said. My stomach turned. She's working here, I said flatly. He laughed. You always had a taste for broken things. I clenched my fists. You get your money when I can pay. He spat near my boot. You have 1 week. After that, I take your land, or her. He climbed back on his horse and left. The sound of hooves faded, but his words stayed heavy as stone. I went inside. Elara sat at the table, hands tight on her lap. Who is he? She whispered. The debt collector, I said. Owns half this town. She didn't move. He knows me. My heart kicked. What do you mean? She didn't answer. I sat across from her. The rain hit the roof like small fists. Elara, tell me. Her voice broke. He made me wear this sack. I froze. What? Her shoulders shook, but she kept the sack on. Please don't make me take it off, she said. I wanted to ask more, but her hands trembled so badly I stopped. That night, Jonah came by. He always showed up when things went wrong. His beard was full of sawdust and his eyes sharp as nails. Mason was at your gate again? He asked. I nodded. He saw her. Jonah frowned. You shouldn't let that man near anyone. You know what he does, right? I shook my head. He collects debts. Jonah leaned closer. He buys people, Elias. Women, mostly. Pays their family's debt, then sells them again. Half the town knows it. My jaw went tight. You sure? He nodded. I seen it. Don't let him near that girl. He left me standing there, rain dripping from the roof. My chest felt full of fire. I went inside. Elara was sitting near the lamp. Her sack moved slightly as she breathed. He won't come here again, I said. She didn't speak. Elara, you're safe now. Her voice came soft. No one is safe from him. I sat on the floor near her. I've seen bad men, I said. But he won't touch you again. I promise. She turned her covered head toward me. Why would you promise a stranger? Because I know what it's like to lose everything, I said. For a long time, we stayed in silence. The lamplight made the shadows dance on the wall. Finally, she reached up and touched the edge of the sack. Will you look away? She asked. I nodded and turned my face to the wall. I heard her slow breathing. Then the sound of cloth sliding off. You can look now, she said quietly. I turned. The light hit her face. I couldn't breathe. Scars ran down from her left temple to her jaw, pale against her skin. Her right eye was clouded white. She looked both young and old at once. I said nothing. My throat closed. She smiled, small and shaking. He said no one would look at me again. He said I was ruined. I wanted to find Croft and break his hands. Elara, I whispered. He lied. She looked down. Do you think I'm ugly? I shook my head. You're still human. That's more than he'll ever be. Tears fell down her cheeks. I reached out but stopped halfway. May I? She nodded. My hand touched her face, gentle as I could. Her skin was warm and wet from tears. Thank you, she said. For what? For not being afraid. I swallowed hard. Fear's easy. Caring's harder. She laughed once, short and sad. You sound like someone I used to know. Who? I asked. Her eyes went distant. Someone I lost. The wind moaned outside. I added more wood to the fire. Tomorrow, I said. We'll go to town, buy supplies, pay what I can. We'll find a way, she nodded slowly. If you go, be careful. He never forgets faces. I don't forget either, I said. We sat in silence again. The flames threw long shapes across the walls. When I finally lay down, sleep would not come. I saw Croft's grin. I saw her scars, and I heard my own promise echo in the dark. He won't touch you again. Moonlight touched the river like soft silver. I led Elara down the path slowly. Cold air pressed against my skin. She held her side and breathed hard. I can walk, she said, voice tight. I know, I said. Lean on me. We reached the flat stones by water. I set a blanket on the ground. She sat and watched the dark current. Silence moved between us like a shadow. I need to clean the cuts, I said. They are small, she said, almost smiling. Small cuts still carry danger, I said. Danger already found me, she answered. I filled a bowl with river water. My hands shook while I dipped the cloth. Her wrists showed old scars like pale ropes. Who did this? I asked quietly. Debt men, she said. Croft's hard hands. The name cut into me like steel. I washed her cheek with slow strokes. She did not flinch from the cold. Thank you, she said, eyes on water. We are safe here, I said gently. Safe is not a real word, she said. It can be, I said. With courage. She breathed deep and let the air go. I lost a home once, she said. Hunger lived there like a dog. Money ruled every night and meal. Who sold you? I asked, throat dry. Family, she said. They needed to pay. I pressed the cloth against a fresh cut. Blood bloomed small and bright in moonlight. She watched the red cloud and looked away. Sorry, I said. I will be careful. You are careful, she said, voice softer. Then tell me your story, I said. Her fingers traced the wet blanket edge. I spoke when I should stay silent, she said. Silence paid better than a brave voice. They hit me for every small word. I learned to hide my name and face. The sack kept men away and near. Some men fear truth. Some men hunt it. I ran when fire opened a path. Fire burned the house and the ropes. Smoke cut my lungs like rough glass. I reached the river and fell down. An old woman pulled me under a bridge. She wrapped me and asked no questions. She gave me a letter for a friend. I never reached that home, she said lightly. Men found me and took me back. Croft wanted debt paid with my body. Her voice broke and then held steady. I rinsed the cloth and wrung it. Water fell back like tiny silver rain. I am here now, I said softly. I will not let him near you. She looked at me and almost smiled. Why do you help me? She asked. I owe the river, I said slowly. It took my wife and kept my life. She turned her face toward me gently. Tell me, she said. Tell me your truth. I felt the night press on my ribs. My cabin burned 3 winters ago, I said. I went for wood and came back. Flames ate the roof like wolves. I heard my love call my name. My hands found heat, not the latch. Her voice grew thin and then silence. I blamed myself every hour and night. I saw fire whenever I closed my eyes. Croft claimed lightning. I smelled lamp oil. I had fear. I had no proof. Tears mixed with the river on my knuckles. Elara's breath slowed to a quiet rhythm. You said her name, she whispered slowly. You said Elara when you bought me. I thought you were a ghost, I admitted. I am not your ghost, she said. I carried her lullaby in my head. I heard it in a far house once. Croft kept a girl who sang at night. I worked near the kitchen for months. I heard men whisper about your land. They spoke of a map and hidden oil. Croft said, "Fire makes men sell cheap." My heart kicked hard against my ribs. "Were you there when my home burned?" She watched the current and nodded once. "I saw men carry oil cans," she said. "I saw a match fall like a star. I tried to scream, but fear choked me. They locked me in a shed with rope. Wind pushed smoke through every crack. I cut the rope with a rusty hinge. I ran when the door sagged open. I saw you fight flames with bare hands. You fell back and cried out loud. I hid. I was afraid to die. I kept your name in my pocket. I promised to speak when I was strong." Cold slid deeper into my jacket sleeves. "What do you need now?" I asked. "Mercy," she said. "For yourself first, Elias." Hearing my name in her mouth healed something. I rinsed the cloth and touched her face. "You say my name like a promise," I said. "Promise to forgive your memory," she replied. "Forgive is heavy," I said. "Like debt. Debt can be paid with courage," she said. "Courage needs help," I said. "I am tired." "Let the river carry fear," she answered. We sat quiet and heard the night speak. Frogs clicked like small clocks in grass. The water kept moving without our pain. "I cannot stop thinking about revenge," I said. "Revenge burns like old lamp oil," she said. "It lights quick and leaves black walls." "What should I do?" I asked slowly. "Tell the sheriff the whole truth." The rain stopped that morning. The air smelled like wet wood. I stood by the fence fixing a broken post. Elara hummed behind me, soft and low. She was planting small green shoots near the porch. I liked the sound of her voice. It made the silence feel alive. "Careful with the roots," I said. She looked up. "They're strong," she said. "They just need time," I smiled. "So do we," she laughed a little. It was the first time I'd heard her laugh since the fire at the mill. That sound did something to me. I felt home again. At night we sat by the lamp. She asked, "Do you ever dream of before?" "Sometimes," I said, "when the night is quiet." I see her face. I hear the screams again. Elara lowered her eyes. "I dream too. Of a door I can't open. I didn't know what to say. I only reached for her hand. It was small and cold. She didn't pull away. For days, life grew calm. I chopped wood. She cooked stew. Jonah came by once with supplies. He joked, "You look like a married man, Elias." I shook my head. "I just found peace, that's all." He gave a crooked grin. "Peace doesn't last here." He was right. The next afternoon I heard horses. 2 men rode down the dirt path, rough coats, guns on their belts. I knew that smell of trouble. One shouted, "Ward!" "By order of Mason Croft, we're here for his property." I stepped forward. "You got the wrong house." The taller one spat. "Not if the girl's inside. He says she belongs to him." Elara came to the door, froze. I could see fear in her eyes. She whispered, "Please don't let them take me." I stood in front of her. "She's free now," I said. "You tell Croft that," the man laughed. $2 don't buy freedom, Lumberjack." He grabbed my shirt. I hit him hard in the jaw. His partner swung a rifle butt into my ribs. Pain cracked through my side. I fell to one knee. Elara screamed, "Stop, please!" They kicked me again. I spat blood on the ground. My breath burned. The taller one said, "Croft warned you. Next time we burn the house too." He raised his boot to strike again. And then Elara did something wild. She picked up a shovel and hit him across the back. The sound echoed. He stumbled, cursed, and ran. The other followed. When the dust cleared, I was on my knees. Elara dropped the shovel and ran to me. "You fool," she said, voice shaking. "You should have stayed down." I tried to laugh. Couldn't. Not while they touched my home. She tore a cloth from her dress and pressed it against my bleeding lip. Her hands trembled. "You're hurt." "I've been hurt worse," I said. She didn't smile. "They'll come back." I looked at her. The fear, the trembling, the tears she fought to hide. I reached up, touched her cheek. "Then I'll be ready," she shook her head. "You can't fight him. He owns everyone." "Not me," I said. Her voice cracked. "He'll kill you." I met her eyes. "Maybe, but he won't take you again." Her breath caught. "Why do you care so much?" I didn't answer right away. The firelight flickered on her face. Because I see myself in you, I said. I lost everything once. I won't lose again. She looked away, silent for a long time. Then she whispered, "You're not like them." I wanted to believe that. Later that night, I sat on the porch with a bandage around my ribs. The woods were quiet except for frogs and the slow sound of the river. Elara came out with 2 cups of tea. "You should rest," she said. "I can't," I said. "If they come again, I need to be awake." She sat beside me. "You don't have to fight every shadow." "Maybe not," I said. "But I promised." She turned to me. "Promised what?" "To keep you safe," I said softly. "No one touches what's mine to protect." She looked at me with wide eyes. "You think I'm yours?" "No," I said quickly. "I think you're human." "That's enough." Her lips trembled, then curved into a small smile. "You're strange, Elias Ward." "Strange keeps us alive," I said. We drank our tea in silence. The stars peeked through clouds. I thought of Croft's men, of the bruises forming on my ribs. I didn't feel weak. I felt alive, angry, yes, but ready. Elara leaned her head on my shoulder. "You shouldn't have fought them." "I would again," I said. "I'll never let him touch you again." She closed her eyes. "Then I'll believe you." The wind blew through the trees, whispering like ghosts. I stared into the dark forest, thinking of the fight that would come. My hands still hurt, my heart even more. But I knew one thing for sure. I had a reason to stand again. I had made a promise, and I meant every word. I smelled the smoke before I saw it. At first I thought it was a storm. The wind carried heat instead of rain. I ran outside and saw a red light across the trees. "My sawmill was burning, Croft," I said under my breath. "He did this." Elara followed me barefoot, her shawl tight around her shoulders. "Elias, wait!" she cried. "I can't," I said. "Everything I own is there." The road to the mill was bright with sparks. Logs cracked and fell like bones. I ran faster. My lungs filled with smoke. "Elara, stay back!" I shouted. But she didn't listen. When we reached the yard, the roof was gone. Fire climbed the beams like it was alive. I grabbed a bucket, filled it from the river, and threw water until my arms shook. "Elara, go home." I yelled again. She coughed. "No, I'll help. You'll die here." "Then I die with you." Her voice broke something inside me. I wanted to hold her, but the flames were all around us. I saw my tools melting, my money gone, my promise burned. "Elara," I cried again. "The back wall, run!" She turned, stumbled, and fell. I dropped the bucket and pulled her up. The air was so hot it cut my throat. "Please," she whispered. "Don't blame yourself." My hands froze. Those words, those exact words, were the last my wife said before the fire took her. I stared at Elara through the smoke. "What did you say?" Her eyes widened. "Nothing. Please, Elias, move." "No," I said. "You said her words," the wall groaned. Fire rained down. I dragged her outside and fell on the dirt. She gasped, coughing hard, her face pale under the soot. "Elara," I said again, shaking her shoulder. "How do you know what she said?" She looked away. "Not now." "Yes, now!" I shouted. "You were there, weren't you?" "That night." Her silence was louder than the fire. The sheriff's bell rang somewhere in town. Jonah's voice called out my name, but I couldn't answer. All I could see was Elara, trembling beside me, her lips moving in prayer. I stood up and looked at what was left of my life. "Only black wood and falling ash, Elara," I said slowly. "Tell me the truth." Tears cut clean lines on her dirty face. "I can't, not here." "Then when?" "When you can forgive me." "Forgive?" I repeated. "For what?" She didn't reply. She tried to stand but fell again. I caught her before she hit the ground. She was light, too light, like someone made of smoke and memory. "I can't lose another one," I whispered. "You won't," she said weakly. "But you must know." "Know what?" "The fire." "It wasn't your fault." I stared at her, heart pounding. "How could you know that unless you were there?" Her eyes met mine. She didn't deny it. I felt the world tilt under me. The sound of burning turned into a scream inside my head. "You were there," I said again, this time quieter. She closed her eyes. "Yes," I stepped back, shaking. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I wanted to," she said. "But you hated the name Elara. You blamed it for the fire." The sky flashed orange as the roof collapsed. Sparks rose into the dark like lost souls. I knelt beside her. "You saw my wife die?" She nodded slowly. I tried to save her. Croft locked the door. I ran for help, but it was too late. "Croft," I said again, my voice cold. "He did it." She reached for my hand. "Please, Elias, don't go after him. He killed her. He burned my mill. How can I not? Because he'll burn you too." "I'm already burned," I said. She cried softly, the sound mixing with crackling wood. "You don't need to carry all this pain. Then who will?" I asked. The sheriff and Jonah arrived, shouting, throwing water, pulling us away. I didn't fight. I just held Elara's hand and watched the fire eat the last of my past. Jonah looked at me. "You think Croft did this?" I nodded. "He'll pay. Elara all right?" he asked. "She fainted," I said. "Get her to Dr. Hale." Jonah lifted her gently. Her head fell against his arm. Before he left, she opened her eyes for a second. "Don't hate me," she whispered. I wanted to say something, but no words came. When the dawn came, the fire was out. Only smoke curled like ghosts over the ground. I walked among the ashes. My boots sank into black mud. Everything I built was gone. But my anger stood tall. I picked up a half-burned board. On it was a mark, Croft's company stamp. Proof. "Croft," I said again, my voice breaking. "You'll see what a man becomes when he has nothing left to lose." I turned toward the town. The smoke behind me looked like wings. The fire was done, but something new started inside me. A fire that no water could stop. "I can't keep this inside," Elara said. "I will tell you." I sat hard on the chair. My hands were cold. The cabin smelled of smoke. The river wind came in. I listened. "You were a maid," I said. "At my house?" She nodded. "Yes," she said. "I worked there." She moved the sack. It hung at her chin. Scars showed. My chest ached. "Why hide?" I asked. "They marked me," she said. "They beat me. They said my face was shame. I hid to live." My mind ran to that night. Fire, screams, my wife. I felt cold. Guilt hit like a stone. "Croft," she said. "He feared the law. He paid men. He paid for a fire." My fingers found the axe on the wall. The wood was smooth. Heat rose in me. I wanted to smash things. Did he set the fire? I asked. My voice was thin. Elara looked down. She held the letter. My old letter. The one I kept folded. "He gave the order," she said. The lamp fell. It spread. "They said accident." They lied. My breath left me. "My wife, she tried to pull me out," Elara said. "She said your name. She said save them." She opened the door. Croft's men shoved her back. They wanted silence. "No," I hit the table. A cup shook. My heart thudded loud. Elara touched my hand. Her skin was cool. "I could not speak then," she whispered. "They threatened me. They said death if I told." I left burned. I wore the sack because people spat. I saw the children. The cold nights. Mother counting coins. My shame. My failure. "Why not tell?" I asked. "Why now?" She looked up with wet eyes. "I thought you left," she said. "I hid until there was no place. Then they put me at the auction. I had to be sold." "You bought me." "I paid $2, I said. The number felt heavy. Elara gave a sad laugh. "You paid for a soul," she said. "You gave me a home." I wanted to ask how she knew the lullaby. I wanted to ask why she hummed my wife's song. Words slipped away. "Why hum with the sack?" I asked. "Because hiding was safe," she said. Music was mine. It kept me alive. The melody stayed. A dog barked outside. Jonah's steps passed the door. He gave a space. "Do I forgive you?" I asked. The question shocked me. Elara blinked. "You forgive me?" "I do not know," I said. "I forgave the world some. I did not forgive myself," she nodded. "You were young then," she said. "You tried. You could not stop it." My hands shook. I thought of Croft, the man with coin and cold smile. The man who shut doors. "If I see him," I said, "I will break him. I will take his money. I will take his name." Elara placed her palm on my cheek. "No," she said. "Do not become him." "I will take justice," I said. "I will swing a hatchet. I will end it." Tears ran down her face. "If you kill him," she said, "his hunger will eat you. The town will trade pain for pain." "I feel the fire," I said. "I smell it. I hear her voice." Elara squeezed my hand. "You do not need to burn," she said. "Do not let revenge eat you. Let truth free you." "Truth?" I asked. "Tell the sheriff," she said. "Tell the doctor. Tell Tess, let them hold the truth. Let them be the mirror." I laughed. A short sound. They are weak, I said. They fear Croft. They fear coin, she said. Coin buys silence. But coin does not buy every heart. The cabin stayed quiet. My chest felt heavy. I stood. The axe hung in my hand. The wood felt right. Do you want me to go? I asked. Go, she said. But do not lose yourself. I left the cabin. Night smelled of rain and smoke. The river moved slow. I walked to Croft's house. I held the hatchet like a promise. My heart beat hard. I felt both fear and courage. A lamp glowed in the guard's window. I knocked. Footsteps came. A man opened the door. He looked at me like a paid man. I need to see Mason, I said. Now? He asked. Now, I said. I stepped forward. The river whispered. I did not know if I had mercy left. The guard frowned. You look like a man with trouble, he said. I have a name, I said. Tell Mason Elias Ward is here. He barked a short laugh. You, Elias Ward? The mill is ash, I know, I said. Tell him I want answers. The guard touched his coat. Mason won't wake for a man at night. He has coin. He will send men. I will wait, I said. Tell him I will not leave. He studied my face. You look hungry for fire, he said. I am hungry for truth, I said. He pushed the door a little. If you go in, you die, he said. Then I will die with a name, I said. He shut the door softly. The light moved. He left a gap. I stepped through. The hall smelled of oil. I moved like a shadow. I had only the hatchet and a promise now. I walked to Croft's mansion in night. My boots hit mud in steady rhythm. Smoke hung low like a shadow. My breath came short and hot. Home felt far behind me now. I held the axe tight and low. The gate groaned like an old voice. I pushed through and crossed the yard. A servant saw me and hid. The door gaped open like a trap. I smelled whiskey and old fire. Music scraped from a broken box. Debt lived here like a king. Croft stood in the dining room. He swayed and grinned with wet lips. Ward, he said, you found my home. He raised a glass and laughed. Come drink and drop that toy. I said, I came for truth. Ask, he said. Be a brave man. Did you burn my mill down? He chuckled and wagged one finger. Storms come. Fires come. That's nature. Did you light my first fire? His smile froze like winter river. I moved oil when men slept. Why did you burn my life? He poured more whiskey and drank. The town made me, he said. They pay for silence, not mercy. They feared truth more than fire. And you were loud with your name. You said love. You said promise. So I cleaned Ward. I cleaned night. He tossed the glass at the wall. I raised the axe to his face. Lamplight flashed along the blade. My arms felt heavy with memory. I heard my wife say, forgive. I smelled smoke, blood, and pine. Croft smiled and licked his lips. Do it, he said. Or go. Either way, I still own you. I don't belong to you, I said. He stumbled back and looked small. I can pay you, he whispered. Money buys peace. Name your price. Pay what? I asked, waiting. My debt, he said. My soul's debt. I need you to carry it. You work. I drink. That's fair. His words made me feel sick. I thought of hunger, cold, and fear. I thought of Elara by the river. Her hands, her scars, her voice. Her letter warmed my pocket. I heard her say, choose courage. My grip loosened on the wood. I lowered the axe to my thigh. You see, he said. You break. You forgive because you are weak. He stepped close and blew smoke. You loved the wrong woman twice. Take off her sack and look. Look, and you will run again. His words sliced my last calm. The door behind me eased open. Elara? I whispered without turning. I am here, she said. With you. Croft's face drained to pale fear. He stared at her scars and flinched. Not you, he spat. Be quiet. Elara stood like a small fire. Elias, she said, put the axe down. Her words cut deeper than knives. I need justice, I said softly. She touched my sleeve with warm hand. Justice is not his chain, she said. Your soul is not for sale. Don't let him own it too. Give mercy to yourself tonight. Croft laughed, rough and empty. Listen to your saint, he said. She wants peace, so I stay king. She thinks love saves every fool. Elara looked at him with pity. You think money will buy breath? You think debt cancels blood and fire? You will meet your truth tonight. I dropped the axe on the floor. The crack rang across the room. I won't kill you, I said. I won't clean your sins tonight. You chose fire, lies, and fear. You will carry your own name. He sneered and pushed past me. He grabbed a bottle and a lamp. See, he said, I still shine. Everyone follows light and money. He stumbled on the rug and slipped. The lamp flew and hit the table. Oil spread like a dark river. Flame licked cloth and climbed curtains. Heat rose quick like a living thing. Croft cursed and slapped at the fire. The sleeve burned and ate his arm. He screamed and hit the cabinet. Bottles fell like glass rain. The room roared with red hunger. Elara pulled me toward the door. Go, she said. We can't save him. Croft tried to run through smoke. He tripped and struck the iron stove. He reached out and begged for help. Ward, he cried, I need mercy. My debt is bigger than fire. Help me, he yelled, choking. I stepped close but did not touch. I give mercy by not killing, I said. I give mercy by letting truth work. Elara tugged my arm and coughed. We backed into the hall together. The ceiling dropped burning wood. We ran outside into the yard. Night wind hit like clean water. The mansion blazed against the stars. Sparks rose like a new storm. The town gathered, whispering and pointing. The sheriff rode in and stared. He saw my empty hands first. He nodded once and looked sad. We'll try, he said and went in. The roof fell with a heavy roar. I held Elara close to me. Her heart beat strong against mine. Smoke rose higher, black and gray. It looked like memory leaving body. I heard the river in distance. I thought of home, promise, and love. Elara whispered, You saved yourself tonight. I said, You saved me twice. She smiled and leaned on my shoulder. At dawn, the fire turned to ash. The sheriff found a charred ring. He set it in my hand gently. Closure, he said. Hard but true. I nodded and thanked him softly. We walked to the road together. Cold morning felt like clean mercy. Elara squeezed my fingers and breathed deep. Your name is free, she said. My voice is free too, I answered. We left the town without noise. No letter, no note, no goodbye. I felt light, tired, and new. The sun lifted over the pines. It warmed our faces and hope. We followed the river east. Home waited where smoke could not stay. I kept my promise in silence. I chose truth over rage at last. I chose love and walked on onward.